Welcome to the deep dive. Have you ever stood in front of a massive stadium-sized 4K display and just, marveled at how uncompressed and pixel-perfect the image is?
Oh yeah, it's pretty incredible to see up close.
Right. Well, today our mission is to decode the invisible, honestly, highly stressful logistics making those images possible.
Yeah, it's a lot more complicated than just plugging in a TV.
Exactly. We're looking at a product page from an AV retailer called HDTVSupply, specifically for a piece of hardware with an incredibly intimidating name.
Oh, you mean the Celerity UFO-DP-TX20 Universal Fiber Optic DisplayPort Transmitter lid?
That's the one. Okay, let's unpack this.
That name is, it's definitely a mouthful, but it represents a really critical bridge in modern AV infrastructure.
It's solving a very specific physical bottleneck, right? When routing massive amounts of video data.
Exactly, especially over distance.
So let's translate what this hardware actually achieves in the real world. This device handles DisplayPort 1.4 capabilities and pushes like an absolutely staggering 32.4 gigabits per second of bandwidth.
Which is just a massive amount of data.
Yeah. Think of that data requirement like a massive, high-pressure digital fire hose. You need it to deliver pristine HDR video in all the audio formats without a single drop spilling.
Right. And if you try to shoot that high-pressure fire hose through a standard copper cable over any significant distance...
It's basically like forcing it through a cocktail straw.
Precisely. What's fascinating here is the active conversion process required to bypass that physical limitation.
Because copper just can't handle it at those speeds.
No, not at all. At 32.4 gigabits per second, traditional copper wire suffers severe signal attenuation. Plus, you get electromagnetic interference.
Oh, so the electrical resistance just degrades the signal.
Exactly. It causes dropped frames or those weird visual artifacts you sometimes see. So this Celerity component actively converts the DisplayPort electrical signal into optical data on the fly.
Wait, 32 gigabits seems like overkill. I mean, does a commercial display really need that much bandwidth without latency?
If you want uncompressed 4K or even 8K resolution at high refresh rates, absolutely. Yeah, that's why this transmitter converts the signal to an MPO.
That's a multi-fiber push-on plug.
You got it. By using optical fibers, it transmits that data friction-free. The listing actually notes it's available in lengths up to 20 feet.
So letting high-end commercial or residential setups route the signal securely without the distance limitations that, choke traditional copper cables.
Right. The engineering guarantees pristine, zero latency transmission.
But, and this is where it gets funny, scrolling down this product page reveals a completely different kind of bottleneck.
One that has absolutely nothing to do with physics.
Right. It's the purchasing process itself. So the transmitter is currently discounted to $189 from $260.
A pretty good deal.
Yeah. But the customer reviews tell two wildly different stories about actually getting your hands on it.
The contrast is pretty striking, honestly. The store boasts a 25-year history and over 10,000 positive reviews.
Yeah, including one from a user named Russell W., who specifically praises Mike and Rachel for their highly responsive customer service.
Right. But then...
Literally right below that glowing praise, another user, Robert B., reports, and I quote, "Every time I try to order from your company, it causes my credit card to get flagged as a fraud purchase."
Yeah, the all-caps fraud really sells it.
I have to ask, why is a specialized AV retailer triggering bank fraud alerts in the first place? Like, are niche transmitter cables somehow hot items for scammers?
Well, it speaks volumes about the reality of specialized online retail today.
How so?
When dealing with expensive, high-bandwidth niche gear, the primary point of friction is usually the banking infrastructure.
Ah, the algorithms?
Exactly. Overzealous bank algorithms look at a high-ticket online purchase for an obscure AV component from a specialized supplier, and they just default to suspicion.
Because the system doesn't know it's a legitimate infrastructure purchase.
Right, it just sees an anomalous spending pattern.
Yeah.
The physical infrastructure has entirely outpaced the financial infrastructure.
Which means the Celerity transmitter can move 32 gigabits of data friction-free in a second, but you still have to get on the phone and argue with your bank just to buy the thing.
It's pretty ironic.
So to wrap up our mission today, we've journeyed all the way from the raw, high-speed specs of a DisplayPort 1.4 optical transmitter
down to the bizarre, real-world bottlenecks of customer service and overzealous credit card fraud alerts.
We've definitely seen how pushing the limits of AV technology requires way more than just specialized MPO cables.
Yeah, it requires navigating some incredibly messy human systems.
Here's a thought to leave you with. If our banking systems are already struggling to smoothly process online purchases for 32 gigabit hardware, without sounding the alarms. What happens when the AV industry inevitably rolls out next-generation 8K or even 16K commercial infrastructure?
That's going to be a lot of flight cards.
Will our financial algorithms be able to keep up with our bandwidth demands? Something to think about the next time you marvel at a massive, flawless digital display. Ask yourself what invisible, high-end fiber optic cables and what frustrated, flagged credit card purchases are silently making that image possible.